From the BBC World Service, in association with ABC and Akashvani, this is Stumped.
Hello, I'm Alison Mitchell and welcome to the final Stumped of 2024. Throughout the year, we've kept you entertained and informed, and this week we're going to look back at some of our highlights. Well, it is quite the year for India opener Yashasvi Jaiswal. He made his international debut in 2023, and since then he's risen up the Test batting rankings. This year, he's broken the record for the most runs scored at home in a calendar year by an Indian player. In February, I spoke to his childhood coach, Jawala Singh, and asked him about when he first spotted Jaiswal at just 11 years old.
So it was December 2013. There was a game at Azad Maidan because I'm running a cricket academy called Mumbai Cricket Club. So there are around 22 pitches. So my match was on some different pitch. And after some time, one left-handed batsman came in and he started playing well. So I told my friend, like, this boy, see, he's playing well on the same surface. So my friend started saying, Jwala bhai, this boy is very poor. He stays alone in Mumbai and I'm very concerned about him. And just we were talking about it and the boy came out. So I walked towards him and just asked, Beta, what's your name? So he said, sir, my name is Yashasvi Jaiswal. So he was a very small kid, around 12. So I said, where do you stay? He said, sir, I stay in that hut. That is a tent, one where the groundsmen live. So I said, why you live in tent? Where is your family? He said, nobody's here. So I asked, where is family? He said, like, they stay in a village called Bhadohi in Uttar Pradesh. And I'm here for cricket. So I said, why your father and mother is not supporting you? He said, he can't do that. So I'm here. So I said, what do you need? You need any kind of help from me? Normally I do. So he said, no, sir, nobody are supporting me to play cricket. Everybody is telling, just go to village. You are not able to play here. Now my mind is very bad. I think I should go back to my village. So I said, okay, do one thing. Come to meet me at my place. And before that, I asked, did you play any games? He said, yes, sir, I played one school game. And I scored 200 runs. So I was thinking like he's trying to impress me. So I said, okay, if you have scored 200 runs, show me the paper cuttings of proof. And this is my card. Come to meet at my place. That was Thursday. And that boy came to meet me on Thursday with 2 paper cuttings, putting in plastic, like just folding like here and there in very unprofessional manner. I went in my past because in 1995, I came to Mumbai to become a player. That time, Sachin Tendulkar and Vinod Kamli was very, very famous. I wanted to become a player, so I left my place at 13. And even same thing, I talked to my parents that I will do anything, but I will live in Mumbai. I will chase my dreams. And I was also in similar condition. So when he was
talking of yourself in him.
Yes. So the way he was talking, it was similar my story. And then I thought this is some kind of, destiny that I was thinking to become a player. And I really worked hard. I struggled a lot. And literally, I spent a lot of times on the grounds. I used to sleep on railway stations. So when he started talking, the story got connected to me. When I left playing cricket, I had one dream that someday I will make an India player. I will make an India player. Because when I was struggling, a lot of people criticized me. My own family, they backed me. But when somebody left his place around 12 or 13 and comes to place like Mumbai, there's a lot of challenges, stay, food, mental pressure, education. So when I was doing this, I used to think like, somebody please come and help me, please come and help me. My agenda was to support Yashasvi Jaiswal because I have gone through a lot of pain. I lost my father and when he was dying, he was saying, I send you Mumbai to make some name. I helped Yashasvi because I wanted to express my feeling in front of the world that it's very difficult to come and play. And so if you fail first inning, you have a second inning. So Yashasvi is my second inning.
It takes tremendous resilience to stick it out. So it's even up to the point when you then met him and took him under your wing. What were the particular cricketing qualities then which you saw develop in the course of coaching him?
Well, Yashasvi was my madness, to be very frank with you, because I had a desire that when I took him, there were two things which I saw. First, that he had a good temperament, that he used to play long innings, that was his skill. So I think his temperament and trust what I had on him, and the way I used to think when I was a player, I wanted him to, train in that manner. So that is how two things really works.
And he's obviously, I mean, he's already achieved incredible things, Rajasthan Royals. What was it like for you when he first made that debut international 100 on his debut, but then the double 100 against England?
Well, he always made me proud as a coach. I'm really proud as a coach, as a guardian, as a father figure. Whenever he does well in cricket, I'm really happy because what I put on him as a coach, he really, returned me with his performance. So yes, as a player, I am really happy and I'm grateful that I become the part of this journey. He become the part of my journey, and what he and me, we're trying to achieve, coming from so far, leaving our parents, we are doing so. Of course, we are proud.
And where do you believe his ambitions lie? How far can he go in this game of cricket?
I given you an interview in 2018 that this boy can become the next legend, and I think I'm on the track. 2018, when he got selected for under 19 Indian team, his mother called me and said, "Sir, thank you. He's playing for India under 19." I said, "No, this is just one of the benchmark. I think he has a long journey, and I am happy that with performances, he's always proving me right."
History was made in June as the USA co-hosted an ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup for the very first time. I was in New York for Stumped, as was our reporter Charlotte Swift, and she caught up with some jubilant fans down at the Nassau County International Cricket Stadium, a temporary structure built in Eisenhower Park to host matches.
It's my first time watching a cricket match, and I'm really excited because my dad said it was a surprise.
This is a proud day for New York. Yeah, New York, go New York! Sri Lanka!
I never thought that cricket would ever come to like the US. I mean, it's almost, there's no cricket in the US, so it's exciting being here.
This is history in the making right now. It never happened before. It happened in America, but never in New York. And this is long overdue.
Yes, it's a bit of a shock that we didn't think we'd get the World Cup here, but we're thrilled, and you can see everyone's really excited. There was a buzz in the hotel this morning as well.
One in a lifetime event. We cannot miss it.
Whoever wins or loses, this is a victory for New York City today.
This little man lives in America. And I wanted to take him to a cricket game.
You look quite emotional there.
Yeah.
Is it just basically to see cricket and to show your son all about, is it the sport that you really love?
Yeah, it is.
After so long, we're excited to see a cricket match in US. I've been in US for about 13 years, so I'm really excited to see this game.
It opens up the eyes to for the country that there is another sport called cricket. I know they like baseball and all the other sports, so bringing cricket to the States is fantastic.
I'm telling you, we are so excited and hope that this will spread more here in the US by building more stadiums.
Swarms of people flocking the stadium here today. The market is here. The fanfare is here. The excitement is here. New York should see this now as a referendum to inspire them, the city here, to make a permanent stadium whereby we can have permanent cricket matches here throughout the entire year in this great city of ours.
In July, I was at Lord's for the first test of the English summer, and we were joined by one of the greatest batters of all time and a true icon of the game. West Indies legend Brian Lara still holds several world records for highest scores with the bat, including 501 not out in first-class cricket against Durham and 400 not out in Test cricket for the West Indies in 2004. Lara gave us his thoughts on the future of the West Indies in the longest form of the game after concerns had been raised by leading officials about the West Indies potentially disappearing from Test cricket unless there was more shared revenue.
Of future of Test match cricket in the West Indies, yeah, that's one thing in terms of, you're talking about money. Money is there. That's a physical thing where you hand over money and how you spend it is very, very important. I don't know if you put 100 million, 200 million into the West Indies bank account, is it going to change the way we play the game? I'm not sure. I believe that we are not harnessing the talent that we have. Obviously, cricket has been diluted by the number of different sports and different opportunities for kids. But I still believe that corporate West Indies has got to get involved. And I believe that the West Indies Cricket Board or CWC hasn't done the right job in attracting these sponsors to ensure that at least grassroots, so that's the words that's used a lot, grassroots, but the academies, all the different things, the facilities being up to standard. I think these things are very, very important. We don't have anybody coming through the gate. I walked in here about 8 a.m., before 8 a.m., 7:30 yesterday, and right around Lords, there were people lined up waiting. That's something I was accustomed to back in the late 70s as a kid, getting to the Queen's Park Oval and 5:30 in the morning, waiting for the gate to be open. That's not happening. You get there at 11 o'clock, there is an empty stadium, and you could pretty much, pick a seat wherever you want. We have to try to get the crowd back. So, the MCC or whoever discussing it and trying to find solutions. I think the West Indies Cricket Board's number one job is to breathe the life back into the people of the Caribbean and let them understand what Test cricket is all about. So you can get the world of money. You still need to sort of get the crowd more passionate about it, and we haven't been able to do that. Parents, my dad lived vicariously through former cricketers, and then he lived vicariously through myself when I started to play sort of youth cricket and under 19 cricket. I don't think parents are doing that anymore. So it's a lot of different things that we have to sort of say is the reason why we are struggling at the moment.
Well, Brian, you talk about all the measures that West Indies cricket could take, and they're all relevant, but would you also feel that the custodians of the game, the ICC, could indulge in more of an equitable distribution of revenue so that at least the top nations feel that they're equally supported? Do you think that's even possible? Do you think that's where it could go?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, there are nations that are far richer than the West Indies. I must commend as well. I know it's not normal, but India seems to be touring the West Indies very often, even if it's just for 1 day or a few test matches. And I know that brings in a lot of revenue for the West Indies, and we are very, very grateful for it. But if I just throw my mind back, I remember, like Sir Wes Hall talking about, when we go to Australia, Australia will give us a huge amount of money back in the 70s and 80s. And when they come to the West Indies, they weren't too interested. They just wanted the West Indies to keep coming back. And I knew that was stopped somewhere in the late 90s, where ICC felt that each board must pay the same amount to each. And that totally sort of kicked us in the gut, because with 100,000 people at the MCG versus 14,000 people at ARG, and sort of the difference in the dollar, it meant that we were going to struggle from that day on. So yes, I think that should be revisited in terms of how distribution is done. And I don't feel that the West Indies should be treated anyways more special than, say, a Zimbabwe or an emerging nation. But definitely some sort of support if they are the fathers of the game, if they are the ones that are responsible for growing the game or keeping it alive in certain nations, definitely.
Now, New Zealand's women made history in October by winning their first ever ICC T20 World Cup as they beat South Africa by 32 runs in the final. Their celebrations went viral, and I caught up with White Ferns all-rounder Maddy Green, who told me how it felt to finally get that winner's medal round her neck.
Been a bit surreal, to be honest. I think it's going to take a little while for some of our group for it to sink in, but yeah, really exciting. Obviously, it's sort of been a testing sort of 6 months for the group. So to be able to turn it around when it really matters the most is pretty special. And we've got a lot of players in our group been around for a long time and haven't necessarily been able to come away with this sort of success. So yeah, I'm just really pleased for people like Susie and Sophie and Leah as well, who've given so much to this team. To be able to win a World Cup is pretty special.
Talk us through the match, I suppose, and you went out really aggressively with the bats against South Africa. Was that a real conscious decision? Because there was a lot of charging going on. I mean, you got off to a brilliant start.
Yeah, we sort of talked about, with the likes of Marazan Cap and Kaka, they're both really good bowlers. And if you just let them bowl in the same spot on the stumps, they're going to make it really hard for you to score. So we talked a lot before the game about making sure we're proactive and trying to take the game to them. And I thought the way that Georgia Plummer and Susie set the tone was excellent. We got us off to a really fast start, just let everyone breathe a little, I suppose, and settle the nerves. And yeah, I thought the way that they opened us up just really set the tone for the rest of the innings and allowed sort of everyone else to come in and play their roles really well.
Was there a time then when you were in the field where a realization started to set in that, you know, we've got this now?
I think it probably wasn't until Chloe Tryon got out. I've seen her bat many times where she's absolutely destroyed teams and the power that she's got. So when she was still in there, I think we were also probably still a little bit on edge. And sort of when Rosemary got that sort of key wicket, that was a massive turning point for us. And yeah, I thought it was sort of ours to win at that point. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, you can never write a team like South Africa off. They've got match winners. So until we didn't get to that sort of later piece in the game, didn't really felt like we were going to win.
And you took a good catch in the deep as well very early on, Tasmin Brits. In that moment, did you manage to keep a clear head? Because we'd seen so many catches go down during the tournament, particularly in Dubai.
Yeah, it's sort of been an interesting tournament from that respect. A lot of catches gone down across multiple different teams. And I think I was really conscious leading into the semi-final and the final of just making sure I felt confident and took lots of catches and warm up. And my role is to sit at long on for the majority of the game. And that seems to be a little bit of a hot spot in T20 cricket. So yeah, I think I was really pleased to hang on to that one. We've seen a lot go down. And, you know, Tasman had been batting really well throughout the tournament. So we knew that was a really key wicket for us as well. So yeah, happy to hang on and back up our bowlers. So I think did an awesome job throughout the tournament.
What was the song then that was sung by you all on the outfield afterwards when Mealy was playing the guitar?
It's a Waiata or a Māori song that we sort of sing sometimes in our group when we're either welcoming someone or farewelling someone from our group. And obviously Sophie's standing down as T20 captain. So Mealy and Susie thought it'd be a great idea if we could get onto the pitch and sing that for her in her last game as T20 captain. So that was really special to be able to do that, and a few emotions going around for all the girls. And I think we were just so happy that, you know, she can end her reign as T20 captain, I guess, going out on a hugely positive note was really cool for her.
Finally on Stumped, England's leading wicket taker Jimmy Anderson retired from Test cricket in July at the age of 41. In November, he joined me to chat about his new autobiography, which was written with his great friend Felix White. Now, I've known Jimmy for many years, and he is a shy and private person. So I asked him just what it was like writing a book about his life.
It was interesting. I found it quite nice in a way because I've spent all my career just looking forward, looking at the next game, looking at the next thing that's coming up, and never really spending time sort of going back over old games and looking at what I've achieved. So it was quite nice to go through that sort of stuff. I think there were certain elements throughout the book where it probably took a little bit, or the information took a bit of coaxing out of me from Felix, because yeah, like you say, I don't particularly like talking about myself or stuff like that. So yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. It was yeah, like I said, amazing to sort of go through not just the 20 years of playing international cricket, but further back than that, through my Burnley career and through my childhood as well.
I mean, Test cricket's been throwing up some remarkable stories still recently, hasn't it? With New Zealand beating India. India are now off to play Australia in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. As a cricket fan, do you look forward to series like that? Is the Border Gavaskar Trophy almost as big as an Ashes?
Yeah, it's right up there. I think I love watching Test cricket regardless of who's playing. I just love the format. And obviously I was very invested in that India-New Zealand series recently. I thought it was fascinating. And even, I mean, it's still frustrating for me now. I know I'm a coach and not a player, but seeing Pakistan play so well against England, I just think it's really encouraging for the world game. Obviously, Test cricket, there's been lots of questions about it and about the future of it. But I think you can still see, certainly in the players, that they absolutely love playing. And I think as long as the players have that love for the sport and keep promoting it and keep trying to entertain people, then I can see a future. But it's great for the game that it's throwing up these results. That India, Australia, it feels like, because India have just lost 3-0, do Australia have the upper hand? But you can never write off India. They've got so much quality in their side. And I just think it's going to be a really exciting series.
And talking of players of quality, that series will throw, obviously, Virat Kohli and Steve Smith in the mix together, two, you know, batters of their absolute generation. You've bowled a lot to both of them. What was your thinking process when you're trying to work out those two in particular to try and get them out?
Well, Steve Smith's someone that is quite awkward because he does move around a lot. He's got a lot of quirky mannerisms, and for me, it was all about trying to stay in my own little bubble and not think too much about what he was doing, and just try and focus on where I was going to bowl the ball. And who was it? Did you say Virat? The other one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was someone who I had success against in 2014 in England, and then he came back to England in 2018 and it felt like he was a different player. He'd gone away and worked really hard at his game. He left the ball well. He sort of coped with the swinging ball a lot better, and I didn't feel like I had as much success against him. Well, no, I didn't have as much success against him, but he's someone who I feel like he's someone very similar to me in terms of the personality you see on the field. He's very driven. Wants to get in a battle, wants to win that battle, very passionate about playing cricket for his country. So I always loved playing against him and those battles we had. But I also felt like it was a real feeling of respect when we were off the field.
So if you had to say which was the most difficult to bowl to, Steve Smith or Virat Kohli, which would it be?
That is possibly the hardest question to answer.
We're here to challenge you.
I'd say probably Virat, just because I feel like he's someone who can score anywhere around the ground, and on his day you just don't look like getting him out. And I always felt with Steve Smith, even if he got to 60 or 70, he'd still have a chance. And I know he's got big runs against England, and I might not have had a huge amount of success against him in recent times, but just Virat stands out probably in the last 10 years of being one of the best batters in the world.
And that is it for our Best of Stumped for 2024. And a huge thanks to all of you for keeping us company throughout the year on the BBC World Service and on the BBC World Service YouTube channel. We look forward to speaking to you again next year. But for now, from me and the rest of the Stumped team, very happy New Year. Goodbye.